Hey, it's Andrew Keddy here at LePage Truro Real Estate, and in today's video, we're going to be going through the buying process for buyers. So whether this is your first property or 10th property, it's always nice to do a review of what the process is like in today's market. And while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to Truro Real Estate for all kinds of great tips and insights about the local real estate market. So if you bought a house before, you know there's a lot of moving parts, but especially for people who are maybe buying for the first time, or if you haven't bought recently, it is really nice to go through the process to see where we're at in today's market. So we are going to go through step by step, just a quick overview of what that process looks like today. Okay, the first thing is you have to determine what you can afford. So usually most of the time people are getting a mortgage. Usually you need anywhere between a 5 and a 25% down payment to purchase a property. So start with that. If you need to save up 5%, think about, okay, 5% of what's realistic. Maybe it's realistic for you to save up 5% or 10% within 6 months or a year. Maybe you can get a gift from a friend or a family member to cover your down payment, but in any case, you need to start with having a down payment because every lender is going to require that. The next thing is once you have a rough idea of what you want to do for a down payment, go talk to your lender, get a pre-approval. That's a review of your finances, and they will give you a rough idea of where your budget is. You don't want to start looking at houses until you know how much you are pre-qualified for, and that's going to be really important, especially when making offers in today's market. The other thing you want to make sure you're considering is closing costs. There's a whole variety of expenses other than the down payment. So everything from inspections to closing adjustments, and the really nasty one, land transfer tax, 1% of the purchase price in our area. And those are all going to be tacked on to what you need to give the lawyer on closing to close on that property. Another thing you're going to want to consider is that a lot of people start off renting and then they buy a house. Now, just because you can afford a $1,500 monthly rental doesn't mean that you can afford a $1,500 mortgage payment, okay? So make sure you consider not just your mortgage payment, but the total cost of ownership. There's all kinds of online calculators you can use to estimate that, or you talk to your real estate professional, someone like myself, who can give you a better sense of the big picture. And also it's great to talk to a mortgage broker or a banker who can also give you a better sense of where a mortgage payment fits within your broader budget. So once you do all that preliminary stuff, now it's on to the fun part. You get to start looking for properties. But you might be wondering, how do we do that? Well, first off, it's good to book a real estate review with someone like myself or whoever you're considering as an agent, and go through your must-haves, your wants, what you need, what you could live without, and make sure that you're clear to communicate that with your agent so that they can help you. Now, as far as property search goes, most buyers right now, they can look online. Just about every listing is hitting the market. So there's a good chance that the buyer is going to see it in about the same amount of time as the agent. Now, for me personally, I usually don't reach out to clients and say every single thing that hits the market, oh, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? Make sure you keep looking. But we do have great software programs to help with that, to help keep you updated on the market, that are so much faster than any one person could ever send those out. So if you reach out, send me your email, we can actually get you into the system so that properties with your criteria can be emailed to you right away. And that is the fastest, easiest, most efficient way for us to help keep you updated on what's hitting the market. That being said, if I see something that I say, wow, that would be perfect, I do like to reach out and just make sure that a person has had a look at that property. Next step in the process is you found something that you love, or that at least you can make work, and you want to put an offer in on it. So what do you do now? Well, first thing is you got to talk to your agent about whether or not you can negotiate, or whether or not you have to decide how bad you want the property. In this market right now, it's we're going through a bit of a shift. Sometimes you're the only person at the table, sometimes you're one of a whole bunch of people. So if you're the only person offering on a property, you might be able to get away with offering $340,000 on a $350,000 property. If you are coming in one of 10 different people offering on a property, you may have to decide, how bad do I want this? You might have to offer $360,000 or $370,000 for that property that's listed at $350,000, or maybe more, depending on how competitive the environment is at that particular time when you're offering. So make sure you talk to your agent. Can I negotiate, or do I have to decide how bad do I want this property? So after everything that you've gone through, now you've finally got an accepted offer. Now you have a conditional period. It's usually anywhere from a couple of days to a couple of weeks. You're going to get your financing final approval. If you choose to get an inspection done, you'll get the inspection done. You'll have your agreement reviewed by a lawyer and any number of other conditions that may have been included in that agreement. Assuming everything is good, okay, now the deal is marked firm. We move forward to the closing, and the closing is handled by the lawyer. Lawyer does up all your closing adjustments and lets you know what you have to do to finalize the purchase of the property in preparation for closing day. On closing day, we do a pre-close walkthrough just to make sure that everything is in order before we finalize the purchase. And then as soon as we get the green light from the lawyer, you get handed the keys. So that may sound like a cumbersome process. It is a little bit complicated. Sometimes it's very smooth. Most of the time there are little hiccups and bumps along the way. So that's why it's so important to have a professional realtor in your corner, working for you, holding your hand every step of the way. And if you are looking for an agent, I would absolutely love to help you navigate that process. Now, to see if we're a good fit, hop on over to andrewkeddy.com, book a free real estate review. We can have a chat in person or on the phone, and we can see if we're a good fit for one another. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today, and I wish you much success in real estate.